What's going on YouTube? This is Austin here from Austin and Dakota coming at you again with another video for you guys tonight. And tonight, first off, it feels so good to be back behind the camera once again for you guys. I know these last few days or so I've been doing gaming videos. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying those gaming videos and hopefully you guys enjoy this one. So today I thought I would do something I've been wanting to do for a while. I am going to be doing the ABCs of metal, but we're going to split this. I have two ABCs of metal that I'm going to do. The first one is going to be the ABCs of death metal. And then next time we will do ABCs of black metal. Now the ABCs of death metal is going to be split into different parts. So this is going to be the ABCs of death metal part 1. Part 1, we are going to go through A through J. So, starting things off with my letter A. A, I am going to go with the Amon Amarth. Great Swedish melodic death metal. They formed in 1992. Have been consistent ever since. Absolutely love these guys. You had Twilight of the Thunder God, John's Viking, Berserker. Really good stuff. It's death metal about Vikings. So if you're into that stuff, you will love Amon Amarth. So that's my A. B, now B was kind of tough because I had two bands that I was going back and forth with. And coincidentally, you're hearing my choice right now, but I'll have the honorable mention after I talk about this band. But B is who you hear in the background, and I'm going with B. For me, B, I'm going with Belphegor. Great Austrian blackened death metal. They are extremely heavy. Great blackened death metal from Austria. They are from Salzburg, Austria. They formed in 1991. And they've been pretty consistent ever since. Absolutely love their stuff. You're hearing Conjuring the Dead by Belphegor right now. So really good. My honorable mention for B, I was going to say Bolt Thrower. Considering Bolt Thrower is an influential death metal band, I absolutely love Bolt Thrower. But I kind of went with these guys because they were very dark in a way. Dark, brooding, very heavy stuff. Really good stuff from Belphegor. C, I'm going with who am I kidding? C, I'm going with Cannibal Corpse, my all-time favorite death metal band. Absolutely love Cannibal Corpse. You had the Chris Barnes era that started way back in 1990. They formed in 1988. They formed, like I said, in 88. Their first album came out in 91, I believe. Either 1991 or 1990. And from 1990 to 1994 was the Chris Barnes era. Then transitioned into 1996. Corpse Grinder era, all the way from Vile, all the way to their latest, Violence Unimagined. Absolutely love these guys. Absolutely love them. So that's my C. D, I am going to go with Pioneers of Death Metal. You could technically say Possessed were like the pioneers of death metal because they had their first album, Seven Churches, come out, and that was kind of death metal-ish in a way. But I picked Death because they're the pioneers of death metal. Chuck Schuldiner, my favorite death metal vocalist of all time, rest in peace to him. They had a very steady slew of albums in the 80s and into the 90s. They formed in 1984. Their first album, Scream Bloody Gore, came out in 1987. You had that, Leprosy. They had a very strong slew of albums from 1987 to their last album in 1998, which was, I'm trying to think of what it was. I can't remember what it was called right offhand, but I know that, that there'd be no death metal without death. 100%. And rest in peace to Chuck Schuldiner. So that's my D. E, I am going to go with, this is an obvious one. E, I'm going with Entombed. Great Swedish death metal. They formed back in 1987. Really good stuff. I absolutely love these guys. Left Hand Path, obviously, Left Hand Path, Wolverine Blues. But you can kind of tell with Wolverine Blues, they kind of transition to more of a, like, death and roll type sound rather than their first album, Left Hand Path, which was more death metal oriented. But no matter, these guys are the real deal when it comes down to Swedish death metal. Great stuff. That's my E, Entombed. F, I'm going with a very underrated band here. And my F, I am going with Fleshgod Apocalypse. Really, really good Italian orchestral death metal. They formed back in 2007, so they're one of the more modern bands to come into death metal. But these guys are absolutely amazing. I have their album Agony, which in my opinion is their best album. They've got a lot of great stuff. Definitely check them out. They're really good. G, it was another toss-up between this band and another band that I'm about ready to talk about. But my choice for G, I'm going with Gorlord. Great Norwegian death metal. They first formed back in 1999. Their first album, Force Fed on Human Flesh, probably some of the most evil-sounding death metal I've heard, and some of the most heaviest death metal I've heard in a long, long time. So, and my honorable mention for G, I was gonna go with Gorguts, but Gorlord I've been listening to constantly, so they were the perfect pick for G. H, I am going with Hypocrisy. Great Swedish death metal. First formed back in 1991. Love these guys. I love their song Roswell 47, which to me is one of the most heaviest and not really one of the most influential songs, but they're really, really heavy in my opinion. So that's my H, Hypocrisy. I am gonna go with I have an album from them. I am going with Incantation. Sorry about the glare. But yeah, I am going with Incantation. Great American death metal. They first formed back in 1984. Of course, with Craig Pillard on vocals. You guys should know who Craig Pillard is. His work with Incantation, Disciples of Mockery, Disma. He left Incantation after this album, and John McEntee took over lead vocals. And then he formed Disciples of Mockery, which Disciples of Mockery, Prelude to Apocalypse, could have easily been a third Incantation album, but Craig left Incantation. Some of the members of Incantation went with him. And then he did vocals for Dismas Towards the Megalith, which his vocal style is so deep and guttural. Absolutely love Incantation, even though it would have been really cool to have seen what would have happened if Craig Pillard stuck around with Incantation from Onward to Golgotha to his last appearance, which was on Mortal Throne of Nazarene. I would have loved to have seen what would have happened. Alright, now we're ending the video with J, and I'm going with Jungle Rot. Great American death metal here from they first formed in 1992. One of my personal favorites from these guys. I mean, you got Consumed in Darkness, Kill on Command. Really good stuff. I love the lead singer's vocals as well. Very deep, very guttural. I wouldn't say evil sounding, but they are a really, really good death metal band to check out if you're slowly getting into death metal. Definitely check them out. So that wraps up part 1 of my ABCs of death metal. Next video we will cover K through R, and then part 3 we will cover S through Z. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please comment, like, and subscribe down below. Your guys' support has been amazing on this channel. Almost to 250 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the continued support. And I will see you guys in the next video.